Traveling northbound into Marin County on the Golden Gate Bridge, just about 4 miles from the bridge, a right turn at the end of the ramp takes us to Sausalito, the first of many Marin County communities that make up one of the most affluent counties in the nation. Within a short 5-mile radius, the comparable towns of Mill Valley, Tiburon, Belvedere make up the communities of southern Marin, set by Mount Tamalpais to the west and the pristine blue waters of the bay to the east, and the San Francisco skyline to the south. Yet, at this very same exit, making a sharp right under the overpass, takes us to a road not so well traveled, to an enclave known for Best Buy and Babies R Us, and perhaps better known for crime, violence, and a black low-income community. It's called Marin City. Marin City, USA, population 2,666, an area of half a square mile, sits right within this 5-mile radius, surrounded by affluent Sausalito, Mill Valley, Tiburon, and Belvedere. And yet, in 1942, it had a population of over 6,000.
Marin City was perhaps the only completely integrated community in the United States. It was just a big integrated family community.
They came to build the ships because Sausalito Bechtel Company contracted with the government to build a shipyard. And people came from Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, but that didn't last long. After the war in 1946, all of that was gone. The shipyard closed. So then what?
And Marin County was, I suppose, interested in keeping what they considered their property values up by not allowing certain ethnic groups to integrate the community. And of course, there hadn't been a lot of challenges to that until this housing project and these people who came from southern countries and southern lands became residents here. And of course, when they wanted to move out into the county, there was a kind of an outcry, in some cases, some blatant effort to keep black people from finding housing.
What I've always appreciated about Marin City was just the community feel, the family environment where everyone knows each other and everyone's looking out for each other.
Today, Marin City is unincorporated Marin County. According to the 2010 U.S. Census, 38.9% of the population is white, 38% African American, 13.7% Hispanic, with the remaining 10% Asian and other.
Marin City is the most diverse community in the county. There's all ethnic groups that live here. Marin City is a very dense community, so there's about 1,400 units in about a 0.7 square mile radius. So it's probably more dense than any other place in the county. There's a diversity of housing. You have, $1 million condos on the hill, all the way to low-income public housing in the Bowl area.
Isolation causes regression because children don't know how to respond to the culture that is being developed in isolation. And sometimes when you aren't sure, you react in a way that is not pleasant. And so our children begin to act up a bit. They were difficult to handle in school. They weren't able to focus as well on what they really, really needed to do to really glean a good education, which was a foundation for their future existence.
Approximately 350 K-12 students reside in Marin City. A majority attend the public schools, Bayside Elementary, MLK Academy, and Willow Creek Charter School. Middle school students typically matriculate to Tam High or Redwood. Yet historically, a disproportionate number of Marin City students will not graduate. 17 years ago, a vision to transform the lives of Marin City through education began with Pastor Fred Small, Robert Hunter, and Denny Brousseau, the founders of Bridge the Gap College Prep.
So when we talked about Bridge the Gap, my idea originally was, let's bridge this gap between the home, the church, and the school. Because I considered the church then was the next most effective entity for trying to educate children.
The original concept for the three of us was to embrace the community, to embrace Marin City. It's a community oftentimes that's apart from the rest of Marin, and my perception was that not a lot of people understood it, nor knew how much help they could be if they spent some time in Marin City. And so we decided that we would recruit one tutor for each student and get the tutor to commit to a year of tutoring. And many, many tutors over the years have lasted a whole bunch longer than that, and it's been really, really gratifying. A few years ago, Denny and I felt, and Pastor Small too, felt that the program should be doing more for kids. Our original concept of embracing the community through children, through helping the children out with their schoolwork, needed to be expanded into a more robust support for those kids as students. So we got really fortunate, recruited some extraordinary people to our board, and the program is, in just a couple of years, where it is today.
Well, here we are in the heart of Marin City, 100% in Marin City, and we have a thriving after-school and evening program. We've gone from a small literacy-based reading program to a academic tutoring and mentoring program that really focuses on kids to college. And our goal for all of our Bridge the Gap students, certainly, and ultimately all Marin City students, is that they go successfully through elementary school, middle school, and high school, and on into college. And we are committed to helping them every step of the way.
In the 17 years that Bridge the Gap College Prep has been working with Marin City youth, 80% of its students have completed high school, and of that, 60% have graduated from or are in college or post-secondary education.
Our volunteers, we would not be here today without our volunteers. I mean, we started as a 100% volunteer effort. Our tutors are the heart and soul of Bridge the Gap College Prep. I mean, it's magic. It's when you see a tutor and a student, it's really something.
It's just gratifying when you get a kid invested in school. When they were heading down that road where they weren't going to do anything in school.
So is this entire piece describing one hug or?
So between the after school and evening programs, we have 14 8th graders. They're going to be high school freshmen in the fall.
Ayana is an 8th grader at MLK Academy who has been a Bridge the Gap student since 3rd grade.
How we got to Bridge the Gap was Ayana was in elementary, and she was bringing home homework every day, and I couldn't help her with the homework. I was like, well, she's in 3rd grade, and I was just feeling like overwhelmed. This last tutor, she told Ayana, she said she wants to stay with Ayana until she gets out of high school. So she's been there since then. And it's made a good impact on Ayana.
So Bridge the Gap as an organization has been around in the community for 10 plus years, and has impacted the lives of many children and families here, and the leadership there, Denny, she's been great to work with. We look forward to that type of partnership and collaboration as we move forward, and I really appreciate the organization for being able to adapt and be nimble and change based on the community need.
When we think about where the majority of our students go to high school, they're either going to Redwood or Tam. And both Redwood and Tam are college prep high schools. So part of our responsibility is to prepare all of our students through elementary and middle school so that they're ready to hit the ground running when they get to Tam and Redwood, and they're on a par with their peers.
I currently attend Tampa High. What's next for me is college. I'm looking to go to either Dominguez Hills, Howard University, or Stillman, and I want to study political science and eventually get my BA. And yes, that's my plan for after high school. It's great. I think Bridge Grad is great for any students in high school or lower in high school because it gives you a chance to have one-on-one attention. Because a lot of times when you're in high school, you have teachers that want to help, but a lot of students don't get that one-on-one attention, and I think Bridge the Gap is the best for it.
Mm-hmm. Currently, our after-school program is a K-8 program, and our high school students can only come during the evening, 2 nights a week, which is not nearly enough. So we're really excited. We've been working on an after-school into evening high school program. We've got together with the high school district administration team, the superintendent and the principals from Redwood and Tam, and we are hard at work on developing a plan, an expanded program that will meet our high school students' needs. Right now we're open 2 nights a week, about an hour, hour and a half for them to come. This program will be at least 4 afternoons a week, probably from 4 to 8. We know not every student is going to come every afternoon, but it will allow us to do so much more for them to meet their needs. We want to provide subject-specific help. We want to continue to provide mentoring and tutoring. So we're really excited about being able to expand the after-school evening programming to finally be a K-12 pipeline, a K-12 program.
We've come